One sentence shattered my world, leaving me questioning everything I once held true. A single sentence hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken truths. Yet, with power comes temptation, and the shadows of unforeseen consequences loom large. It began in the shadows of the office, late one fateful evening. As I tidied my desk, the weight of the day heavy on my shoulders, a deep voice pierced the silence from behind me, sending a chill down my spine. "Olivia, can you spare a moment?" As I spun around, my heart raced. There stood Victor Langley, the formidable CEO, my boss for a decade, his presence heavy with unspoken tension. At 58, he stood tall, a titan forged in the fires of ambition, his presence commanding the room like a king surveying his realm. Little did I know, tonight's conversation would shatter my world. "You've worked hard," Vincent said, his eyes boring into me. "Your potential is undeniable. It's time for you to seize the chance you've long awaited." My heart raced, each beat echoing in the silence. Years of anticipation hung in the air, thick with tension. "But why at this moment? Are you ready to rise to the challenge?" He pressed on, his voice steady, yet a storm brewed beneath the surface. Private office, triple the salary, the power to decide on monumental projects. What could go wrong? I nodded, my heart racing, uncertainty gripping me. "Of course, but why me?" Vincent's smile held secrets untold. "I trust you are the one meant for this." His offer hung in the air, heavy with unspoken motives. Behind those vague words, a shadow loomed, whispering secrets yet untold. I had no choice. This was my last shot at freedom. Ryan's heart raced, shadows closing in around him, the air thick with unspoken fears. The hospital bills piled up like a dark cloud, suffocating me. I was drained, my body and mind teetering on the edge. "What are your thoughts?" he asked, his voice a whisper, heavy with unspoken weight. I inhaled sharply. I must uncover the terms. Vincent's smile widened, a flicker of something darker lurking beneath. "I demand your unwavering loyalty, Olivia." A shiver coursed through me. What could that possibly mean? The conversation lingered, stretching into tense moments, each second heavy with unspoken words. Silence hung heavy in the air. Silence hung in the air, heavy with unspoken truths. Yet all was revealed. I had shed my innocence. I understood the dark mechanics of existence. Some battles cannot be won by effort alone. But was I ready to face the cost? "I'm not making you do this, Olivia," Vincent whispered, the wine trembling in his glass. "It's merely a proposition, but the weight of it hangs heavy in the air. Consider this moment wisely. Chances like this are fleeting and may never return." I rose, my thoughts spiraling into chaos. I understood the words that hung in the air, heavy with unspoken truth. I must say no right now. Cling to my beliefs. I simply replied, "I'll think about it." Vincent nodded, his gaze piercing deep into my soul. "I await your response with bated breath." I stepped out of the office, clutching 100 tightly. A lingering thought refused to fade. The suggestion echoed in my mind, a haunting melody I couldn't escape. I hurried down the hallway, a chill creeping up my spine as I sensed a gaze fixed upon me. I shook my head, desperate to silence the whispers of doubt creeping in. As I stepped through the door, my heart raced. Ryan was there, shrouded in darkness. He had faded, a shadow of the vibrant man I once loved. Since the accident, he had changed, distant and introspective, lost in the "You're late." Again? His voice cut through the silence, cold and devoid of feeling. A fleeting smile masked the turmoil within me. The weight of it all is crushing. Ryan nodded, his gaze fixed on the window, silence swallowing any further questions. My gaze locked onto him, a fleeting heartbeat echoing the silence as I searched for the thread that bound us. Yet, it slipped away, lost in the shadows of memory. I entered the bedroom, shut the door behind me, and collapsed onto the bed. Vincent craved my loyalty, a desperate need that hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. But how? What lies beneath? Am I spiraling into doubt? Or, is this a test of my very soul? I stared at the ceiling, my mind racing with possibilities. The answer loomed, just out of reach, a haunting whisper in the shadows. Yet doubt gnawed at me, whispering that this wasn't the truth I sought to reveal. A weight pressed down on my chest as I opened my eyes. Last night, Vincent's offer haunted my thoughts. Uncertainty loomed. It lacked clarity. Yet beneath his words, a longing flickered, something deeper than mere loyalty. I whispered to myself, no chains bind me to this choice. But was that the truth? If I say no, will I lose everything I've worked for? Can I endure this job without it consuming me? But if I said yes, what would it truly cost me? I shot up, my gaze locking onto Ryan. He lay there, lost in slumber, his expression serene yet betraying the weight of time that had etched itself upon his features. The memories haunt me, his warmth, his stability, now just shadows in the dark. Since the accident, an unbridgeable chasm has opened between us. He pulled away, and I slowly learned to embrace the suffocating silence that filled my once vibrant home. The following day, I stepped into the office before dawn's light could break. Time slipped away as I braced myself for the moment I would face Vincent once more. Yet, an unsettling chill gripped me as I ventured down the hallway. Did I feel their eyes lingering on me, heavy with unspoken thoughts? Was it real, or merely a figment of my mind? My heart raced as I opened my inbox. An email from Vincent awaited me. Meet me at the office at 7 tonight. We need to talk. It's urgent. I inhaled sharply. A part of me yearned to turn away. Yet, a deeper voice within me insisted I listen to his words, to grasp the weight of his intentions before choosing my path. As I exited the conference room, I collided with Charlotte, a trusted ally in the shadows of uncertainty. Her gaze pierced through me, laden with an unsettling intensity. "Olivia, are you all right?" she demanded. A shadow crossed my face. "Absolutely. What compels you to inquire?" Charlotte glanced around, her eyes wide with urgency as she tugged me close, her voice barely a whisper. "Something feels off. My boss's gaze lingers on you, charged with an intensity that sends shivers down my spine. Is it just my imagination, or is there something more?" My heart raced wildly. "What are you saying?" Her breath caught in her throat. Simply, he rarely shows interest in anyone. Is there truly nothing beneath the surface? I forced a smile, my heart racing beneath the surface. Your thoughts are a void, empty and silent. He's searching for new opportunities. Charlotte held her breath, doubt gnawing at her, yet she remained silent. Relief washed over me, a fleeting moment in the storm. If Charlotte noticed, then I must tread lightly. The clock chimed ominously at 7 p.m. I stood before Vincent's office door, my heart racing, each beat echoing the tension in the air. In this moment, I stand at the precipice, the choice heavy in the air. I could simply walk away, but the weight of what lies behind me pulls me back. Yet I held back. I had to uncover the truth. I knocked, heart racing, and stepped inside. Vincent sat in the chair, his gaze locked onto me as I drew closer to his desk. "I'm glad you came," he whispered, his voice steady yet laced with tension. I took a seat, my expression betraying nothing, though my heart raced within me. "I need to know more about your proposal. Now." Vincent's smile faltered, his hands trembling as they clasped together. "What is it that you seek from me?" His gaze lingered on me, heavy with unspoken words, before he finally broke the silence. "I crave a presence, a heartbeat beside me in the shadows, a soul to rely on without a doubt. I believe you are the one destined for this." A chill ran down my spine. "My job? It doesn't demand that. Not at all." Vincent tilted his head, eyes glinting with intensity. "Absolutely not. You've fought for this, and I will ensure you receive what is rightfully yours." He hesitated, the silence thickening, before pressing on. "But the world isn't just about effort, Olivia. In a heartbeat, a single bold choice can change everything." I inhaled sharply. "What if I refuse?" Vincent's shoulders fell, a shadow crossing his face. Disappointment would cut deep. Yet I cannot compel you. Yet all I can reveal is, this chance is fleeting. A whisper in the dark. The silence enveloped us, heavy and suffocating. I felt the weight of his intentions, sharp and clear. This was a warning. Yet, a foreboding whisper lingers. To refuse could mean sealing my fate, locking the door to opportunity for good. I stepped out of the office, my thoughts a whirlwind of confusion. A wave of frustration surged through me. Why must it always come to this? Must I face this torment? I poured my soul into my work, only to discover that my hard-earned promotion carried a dark secret. Yet, a thought lingered. What if this was my only chance? Could I really let it go? As I stepped through the door, Ryan stood there, a shadow in the dim light, his presence heavy with unspoken words. His gaze pierced through me, lingering, before he whispered, "You seem nervous. Is something amiss?" I smiled, but a shiver ran down my spine. Silence, a void, an emptiness that echoes. What lies beneath? The tension thickens, waiting for a spark. A day that stretched endlessly, filled with shadows and whispers of what could have been. He nodded, a silent agreement hanging in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. Yet, the doubt lingered in his eyes. The truth hung heavy in the air, but I couldn't bring myself to speak it. Silence swallowed my words. Not now. Please, not now. Perhaps it will never come. I sat on the bed, trapped in a haunting Olivia, each path shrouded in shadows. One path led to safety, but at what cost? Ethics hang by a thread. Beliefs I once held close, now trembling in doubt. The other path beckons, shrouded in shadows, whispering secrets of what lies ahead. A choice hangs heavy in the air, fraught with uncertainty and the weight of unspoken fears. Will it lead to salvation or despair? The heart races, caught in the tension of the moment, as the unknown looms closer. This was my moment, the one that could alter everything. Yet with it arrived shadows. I never imagined this moment would come. I shut my eyes tight, inhaled sharply. Can I trust Vincent's offer? I awoke, my thoughts heavy, lingering from the night before. Memories of my conversation with Vincent replayed in my mind, refusing to settle. Chasing me through the shadows, a relentless torment. The night dragged on, a restless torment that stole my sleep. The weight of the decision settled on me, an undeniable crossroad ahead. A choice that might alter everything I know. My gaze locked onto Ryan. He lay there, oblivious, his breath a calm whisper in the dark. I questioned, if Ryan were in my shoes, what would he choose? The weight of the moment hung heavy in the air, a decision looming like a shadow. Would he dare to sacrifice everything for a chance at a brighter future for us both? Would he hold fast to his beliefs, or would he falter in the face of temptation? Will you face the uncertainty ahead? I had no idea, but deep down, I realized I could no longer escape. The certainty I once had was replaced by questions. That morning, I arrived at work, a storm brewing within me. My decision was final. The clock ticked mercilessly. I had to move, no more waiting, ripped apart by decisions I feared to confront. As I stepped into my office, a chilling sight met my eyes. A new email from Vincent awaited in my inbox. A single line, heavy with unspoken weight. Tonight is the night everything changes. 7. The number hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. What does it mean? A countdown? Promise? The weight of anticipation builds, each second stretching into eternity. The place where shadows linger, secrets whisper, and tension hangs thick in the air. Silence hung heavy in the air, leaving questions unanswered. Nothing more to reveal. Yet deep down I understood his true desire. The day dragged on, shrouded in a haze of unease. My mind was a storm, chaos swirling. Nothing could hold my focus. Questions echoed relentlessly in my mind. Am I making the right choice or sealing my fate? Is this a chance or a snare? Charlotte. The name lingers, heavy with unspoken truths. I could feel it deep within me. Something was terribly wrong. Olivia, are you all right? A faint smile flickered across my lips. Exhausted, the weight of the world presses down, suffocating. Will it ever end? Her gaze pierced through me, searching for secrets untold. Yet silence hung heavy in the air, unanswered questions lingering between us. 7 echoed through the silence. Heart racing, I faced Vincent's office door, inhaling sharply before my fist met the wood. Step inside. His voice resonated, heavy with command. I stepped in, the door slamming shut with a finality that echoed in the silence. Vincent stood by the window, hands buried deep in his pockets, eyes locked on the city below, a storm brewing within him. He hesitated, the weight of the moment hanging in the air. The silence stretched on, heavy and suffocating. At last, his voice broke the silence. So, you've made your choice. I nodded, my voice steady, but inside, a storm brewed. I need to know, what fate awaits if I utter that word? Yes. A single syllable, heavy with consequence. Vincent spun around, his piercing gaze dissecting my every action. Promises all your desires fulfilled. A rise to power. A life on the edge of chaos. Yearning for stability. And above all, you have me with you. I swallowed hard. His voice was steady, chillingly casual, as if he were discussing the weather instead of fate. Yet, for me, it felt anything but ordinary. I inhaled sharply. Can I really go through with this? Vincent edged forward, his voice a whisper, heavy with tension. Olivia, you possess a sharp mind. I won't force you into anything you dread. This is your moment. Will you take it? A different path awaits. In that fleeting instant, darkness enveloped me. A different path awaits. A dark temptation whispered to me, impossible to ignore. But what about the other side? The part of me I once trusted was now a desperate cry, urging me to retreat. In that moment, I made my choice. I listened. I opened my eyes, locking onto Vincent's gaze. Your offer means everything to me. I can't go on like this. I'm trapped, unable to barter my soul for a fleeting title. The air thickened with tension. Vincent's gaze pierced through me, lingering with an intensity that made my heart race. And then, a soft smile broke through the tension. It seems I misjudged your strength. Uncertainty gripped me, a shadow lurking in the depths of my mind. But I was beyond caring now. The choice was final, and the weight of it pressed down on me like a storm brewing on the horizon. I rose, heart pounding. Thank you, Vincent, for everything. I wonder, the words hang in the air, heavy and final. He nodded, a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air. Good luck, Olivia. You'll need it. But keep in mind, second chances are a rare gift. As I stepped out of the office, a surge of relief coursed through me, as if the very air had changed. The certainty I once had was gone, replaced by questions, 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 but shadows lingered in the corners of my mind. I had said no. The weight of those 2 words hung in the air, thick with tension. What would happen next? My heart raced, the silence deafening. I had fought to keep my composure. I stepped through the door, the clock ticking ominously behind me. Ryan stood there, his gaze heavy with worry, as the silence stretched between us. Are you really okay? He demanded. I nodded, the weight of the moment crashing down around me. I'm fine? Or at least that's what I keep telling myself. Today felt endless, each moment stretching into the next, heavy with unspoken weight. Ryan's gaze lingered, heavy with unspoken words, before he let out a deep, weary sigh. Your journey is a mystery to me, yet I trust you chose wisely. I hesitated. What are you saying? His smile was a fleeting shadow, hiding untold secrets. Olivia, our history runs deep, just enough to sense your silent battles. Details are unnecessary. Just tell me what I must face. Yet, deep down, I sense you would never betray your own essence. And that fills me with a fierce pride. A lump tightened in my throat, caught me off guard. Of all people, it had to be Ryan, the one who would ignite the flicker of belief within me. I sat beside him, my heart racing as I grasped his hand tightly. Thank you for everything. The weight of those words lingers in the air, heavy with unspoken emotions. Ryan's grip tightened around my hand, silence hanging heavy between us. That night, I drifted into a deep sleep, unaware of the storm brewing just beneath the surface. The future loomed, shrouded in uncertainty. Perhaps the summit of the company would forever remain out of reach. Perhaps Vincent would devise a plan to complicate my life. Yet one truth pierced through the chaos. I was still here, but the shadows whispered otherwise. It eclipsed everything else. Your presence means everything. Thank you for being part of our tale today. Your support means everything to us. Yet, we must stress that this tale is entirely a product of imagination, disconnected from any reality. Yet, within this tale, a question lingers, haunting the shadows. In the shadow of a daunting choice, will you cling to your beliefs or surrender to the cost? Leave your thoughts below if you dare. Can you feel for Olivia? What would you choose in that moment of uncertainty? Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what comes next. Until we meet once more.